number one. Now, number two here. This is fun. Well, this is fun if you're a fan of Rant. Uh, this isn't actually really fun news to be honest with you. This is just a little sad. Is Robert Downey Jr. cashing that corporate check once again? And is Robert Downey down on Indy? Well, let's dive into this headline from Variety. Behind Robert Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers' mega Avengers paydays. Because sources say Marvel is plunking down 80 million for Anthony and Joe Russo to direct Avengers Doomsday and, of course, another Avengers Secret Wars. And they're going to pay them significantly more for Downey. They're going to pay Downey a lot to tackle uber villain Doctor Doom in the two tentpoles. And the Russo's deal doesn't include back end compensation, but it does contain those performance escalators that kick in at the 750 million to 1 billion. Oh my god, just so much money. It's greed. It's freaking greed. Are they gonna end the world hunger with that money? I don't know. And look, I know movies cost a lot, but that's too much. That's way too much. I mean, come on now, stop it. But yeah, to me, this is just like not surprising. I mean, it's sad, but it's not surprising. Um, we thought there was gonna be an end to Marvel, something different. We just gonna let them do their silly TV shows. Yeah, so 60 something Downey Jr. still wants in on this Marvel stuff. I remember the first time Avengers came out in high school, we all liked it. It was entertaining. We all wanted a popcorn movie again. And we all wanted to have fun and treat it like a roller coaster ride, eh? We wanted to cheer when the superheroes win and etc. Now, I'm just freaking tired. I'm freaking tired. This is tired. It's been movies and movies since then, and the quality declining, and I just personally had enough. But that's not where this rant is going. Oh no, it's about Downey specifically, and I'd hate to sound like a Debbie Downer, but even though I have defended him as a charming actor and was very happy about his powerhouse performance in Oppenheimer, I thought, this guy is going to be doing great genre dramas again, and something that had nothing to do with his famous character, Tony Stark. I thought, oh, this guy's going to go on and do bigger things. Turns out I was proven wrong, and it reminded me of this particular headline that Downey Jr. made years ago. Indie movies are exhausting and sometimes suck. Okay. Yeah, he complained about this to the publication The Guardian, years ago, and he basically went on his rant about how they ask you to pay for a cruise lunch or work on your birthday, and sometimes the movie doesn't turn out so good. And look, I get a little bit of what he's saying there, I do. But even when he was in rehab, I think Downey could afford to pay for a cruise lunch. I'm just saying, maybe I'm wrong. I think he could, but maybe I'm wrong. But I think a lot of I mean, to be honest with you, I just think like to be like, okay, there's two types of people in this world, right? There's people who like to just be completely selfless, not just with their craft, but with their time and with their money, and they're so committed to something they'll do it for free, and they don't consider themselves suckers because they really believe in what they're doing and they want more. They're addicted to it. Maybe it's a no pain, no gain type of thing or whatever, but they're addicted to it. And then there's people who are like, this isn't worth my time. Oh, this is worth some of my time, but not all of my time. Life's too short. Um, I'm only committed to a certain like limit, and I'd rather be on a boat somewhere. And you could actually make an argument for the second type of person, but I think it's more admirable the first type of person. Now, I'm not trying to, rain down on Downey Jr. and he's not going to listen to this. I just always found it more admiring, when you get those big actors who have been in franchises and they do an indie movie and they don't have any problem doing an indie movie. And yeah, it does probably take up a lot of their time and they probably do have some complaints, but they keep it to themselves because they really do believe and they understand that they are there for the artist who makes it and that they don't want to taint it um, by saying the wrong thing. And I don't get that from Downey Jr. I think he just likes the catering that a blockbuster brings. And we ain't talking about food portions. I mean, having a trailer, never having to worry about potential drug dealers because he did have a big drug addiction going on. I mean, this wasn't no teensy tiny thing. Like, he was in the news. I mean, there's a Simpsons episode where Mel Gibson is like the sane, clean cut guy, and Downey Jr. is sort of like the butt of a joke, funnily enough. And now it's like vice versa, where Downey Jr. is like a movie star, and Mel's okay. Now, I mean, he's not okay in terms of reputation. He still gets a bunch of, and rightfully earned trash talk, rightfully earned trash talk. But his career is like not in the trash can, so he can't bitch about that. My point is, so there was a time when Downey Jr. was totally effed up. I mean, we were talking completely effed up, like totally, totally effed up. And I can understand he doesn't want to be anywhere near a drug. And you got studios looking after you because it's a million, no, potentially billions. I mean, especially at this point, $1 billion production. So your ass can't be doing lines of coke, and he needs to feel secure. And let's face it, sometimes pampered. And he's the king of the ball, and he's got that ego. He's the pampered type. He's got an ego, and I have seen it in various interviews. I mean, yeah, this is my opinion of him, and I like him. I think he's a charming guy. He also has an ego, and I don't think he hides it. And then he it's laying about out there in his interviews, and it's funny when he tries to I don't know, defend what he does from like Martin Scorsese or whatever. It's like, dude, you sound foolish. Like, you clearly just like you got the biggest paycheck in the world. I'm not gonna listen to what you have to say about if it's trying to counter against what Martin Scorsese is saying. Um, and I don't think that type of attitude he has can exist in the indie space, or at least be appreciated in the indie space. I mean, you don't want a guy who's gonna bitch about how he has to pay for a crew's lunch. I mean, some people would just be glad to do it. Some people would just offer. They wouldn't even be asked. So that's my read, and I love him as an actor still, and he's been in some great films like Natural Born Killers, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and Scanner Darkly, and I don't know, dude, he's just so wrong on this topic when it comes to indie film. This isn't a recent statement he made, but it was the first thing that popped into my mind, and it resurfaced and went viral. Someone else tweeted about it too, and I was just like, yeah, you know what? I think he could have paid for Crew's lunch even when he was in rehab. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. And some people think it's funny because his dad was a very famous, independent filmmaker, brilliant mind, totally revolutionary, or Robert Downey Sr. Um, but sometimes people are just different from their dads. It doesn't matter. Your dad can be a Marxist, and you end up being a neoliberal. It doesn't matter. So anyway, did Downey Jr. sell his soul again? No, he loves this slop fest. And I'm happy he's still sober, but I will never be happy about this.